Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my first update for my Project 5 uses. If you missed the intro video, I'll have it linked in the description and in the cards, but basically I pick out 6 products, 5 that I pick using prompts that I've set and 1 wild card that I'd like to get 5 uses out of. And it's just a way to help me rotate through my collection and get use out of products that are not already in panning projects. If you're new to my channel, I'm working on a couple of panning projects this year. I have 2 eyeshadow panning projects and then a rolling tin pan, which is mainly base products. So the kinds of products that I'm putting into the Project 5 uses are mainly cheeks, lips, and non-palette eye products. So I managed to use all of the products from last time 5 times, and I'm going to go through those with you, and then I'm going to share with you the 5 that I've picked for this next round. And then together we will pick out a 6th wildcard product using the Tiny Decisions app at the end. So if that sounds like something that would be interesting to you, I hope you will stick around. I would love to have you, and let's get into the products. So I'm still, as ever, working out my filming setup. I have a light now that I'm playing with all the settings on, and I'm trying to figure out my best filming setup to get consistent lighting and filming quality every time. So I apologize for having to complain about the lighting in every video, but hopefully the lighting looks a little bit better in this video. I had been using natural lighting and it was just really unpredictable, especially in the winter time. So let me know what you think of the lighting in the comments below. But let's start on the products from last time. So my prompts for blushes were that I wanted to use a cream blush and a powder blush. For my cream blush, I picked out the Wander Beauty On the Glow Blush and Illuminator, just the blush side in the shade Bare. This is such an easy color to wear. It's pretty neutral, although I think it leans a little bit warm. It has just like that hint of terracotta to it. But overall, it's just a really nice neutral warm pink that goes with any eye look. We'll show you in the cutaways, but I don't have that much product left in this blush, so that's exciting too. I'm glad I was able to get some use on it and kind of work away at it because cream products obviously expire faster than powder products. Love the formula, very easy to work with, very pretty on the skin, even though my skin has been so incredibly dry, and really enjoyed using that one. For my powder blush, I rolled in the Flower Beauty Flower Pot in the shade Sweet Pea. You can still get these. I looked it up after I filmed the last video where I said I didn't know if they even still made these. They do. Just a really nice drugstore blush option. It has that really pretty flower imprint in the product. And this shade Sweet Pea is honestly just such a nice, easy, wearable, cool pink. I say cool because it does have kind of like a dusty, neutral quality to it, but that does make it just really, really easy to pair with any eye look. So super easy to wear. I loved the way that this was looking with some of my cooler eye looks this month because it is a little bit on the cooler end of the pink spectrum, and I really like the formula. I think for a drugstore blush, you kind of can't go wrong if you're looking for something matte. I would say it was pretty long wearing and blendable, easy to blend onto the skin. Really nothing bad to say about either of my blush picks from the last time, but I love blush, so I'm really excited to roll in some new blush options just because I love all of the blushes in my collection, and I just love blush so much. It's my favorite part, aside from eyeshadow, of doing my makeup. So I love having a project that focuses on rotating through my blushes. And I had 2 prompts for lip products, a neutral lip product and a bold lip product. For the neutral, I rolled in my Wet n Wild Mega Last Liquid Catsuit High Shine Lipstick in the shade Send Nudes. This is another one that was just so easy to pair with whatever eye look I was doing. It's just a really nice, true nude, I would say. There's not a lot of pink in it. It leans more brown than anything, but on my skin tone, it just is a perfect nude. So using that this month was really pretty easy. I made things kind of easy for myself picking a neutral lip product every time, but I live for neutrals and nudes, so I had to have a project that let me use all of the neutrals in my collection. This one is especially nice because it wears kind of like a liquid lipstick, but it feels like a balm or a gloss. It doesn't dry out your lips like a lot of other liquid lipsticks do. So you are getting that kind of like opaque coverage that you would get from a lipstick or a liquid lipstick, but it still has that shine and it still feels very comfortable. So this is just such an easy one. I just threw it on, you know, it looks great with a lip liner. It looks great paired over other lip products too, to kind of mix and make any lip look a little bit more neutral. So huge fan of this shade and also this formula. Again, it's like an amazing drugstore option if you were looking for a drugstore lip product recommendation. For my bold lip choice, I was using the NARS Velvet Matte Lip Pencil in the shade Mysterious Red. This came at the perfect time for February and Valentine's Day. I was able to get a ton of use out of this wearing a red way more than I normally do. I normally wear a red lipstick like a couple times a year. So wearing a red 5 times over the course of like a few weeks was definitely a push out of my comfort zone, but I ended up really enjoying it. So I'm really happy that I'm including a bold lip choice in my products as well. This one is just really easy to wear. It's a beautiful shade, so flattering. It makes your teeth look white. And because it's in that pencil form, you can just kind of draw it on. And I feel like the lasting power could be a little bit better, but for the kind of delivery system that it's in, I think the ease of application makes it worth it because you can just whip it out, reapply, no problem, which is an issue with some other, you know, red lipsticks or red liquid lipsticks. It's a touch drying on the lips, not as drying as something like a classic liquid lipstick, but definitely a little bit dry, and I felt that in my lips every time I would wear this. So something to consider if you were considering buying this product, but I think I actually got this as a gift with purchase one year, maybe the Sephora birthday gift even. So it's been in my collection for a while. I'm happy to get some more use out of it. Although I am a little bit nervous now because it definitely needs a sharpen. And I am scared to sharpen this. It looks like it's not gonna fit in a typical pencil sharpener. If you have one of these and you sharpen it, would you please let me know if there's like a specific sharpener that you use, or I don't know, because I feel like there's got to be more product in here if I could only sharpen it and access it, but I'm really scared of messing up the product and also messing up my sharpener, so let me know if you have one of these and you've sharpened it, what you do. I'm not going with red again this month, although I definitely could because I have quite a few reds in my collection, but I'm sure a red lip will make its way into this project again at some point. For my non-palette eye product, I picked the Phytosurgence Flash Fluorescence in the shade Fractal Freesia, which is just such a beautiful glitter topper. Loved using this every single time I used it this month because it just is stunning. It adds such a nice sheen and glitter shimmer finish to the lids. I love that it has kind of a champagne base to it, but it's still largely transparent, so you can layer it on top of any eye look. I actually have it on my eyes today. I'm not sure how well you can see that, but especially in daylight and natural light, it just catches the light so beautifully. And over bare lids, it looks like just a whisper of some kind of a shimmer that's so pretty and flattering when it catches the light. Also really appreciate how easy this is to use. If you haven't used Phytosurgence cream eyeshadows before, they set down really well and they don't crease. So a lot of like shimmer or wet look eyeshadows that I've tried before and that I even have in my collection can tend to crease on me because of the way that they're kind of delivered, or alternatively, if I want something a little bit shimmery, then sometimes I'll use like a liquid glitter eyeshadow, which can be really finicky to work with because you're not getting that even dispersal of glitter. Sometimes there's bigger flakes and smaller flakes and it can be hard to manipulate. And this product just makes it so easy to get an even wash all over, a little bit of shimmer, a little bit of glitter. So I really loved using this. Definitely one that using 5 times in a row made me fall even more in love with it. That was a really fun one, and also an easy way to just add a little something extra to my eye looks. Lastly, for my wild card, using the Tiny Decisions app, it randomly chose for me the Estee Lauder lip liner in the shade Cafe Rose. This is a deep kind of rosy brown lip liner, but it has a lot of that rosiness to it, and still looks pretty pink on the lips. I'm actually wearing it on my lips today because I wanted to go for kind of like a rosier look, and I think it's really pretty. This isn't one that I tend to use lots just because it's not as neutral as I would tend to go for in a lip liner. But I think if you are looking for a rosier look, or even with the red NARS lip pencil, it paired really well. So this was a really easy one for me to pair with pinks, reds, roses. It doesn't go super well with like pure neutrals just because there is so much pink and red to it. But I'm glad that I got more uses out of it because this is one that's been sitting in my collection for a while. If you've never tried the Estee Lauder lip liners, they are really nice. They go on very creamy. They don't pull or tug or skip on your lips. But once they're on, they stay on really, really nicely. And it's actually one of my favorite lip liner formulas. This just isn't like my top favorite shade from them. So it was really nice to use formula-wise, and just getting use out of a shade that I wouldn't typically pick out for myself, but it's challenged me to wear some different lip colors like this combo that I have on today, and I've been having fun with that more like kind of rosy vibe. So this was the collection and color palette of the products that I used for the last round, and I'm really excited to move these out and switch in some different stuff and talk you through and show you what I've picked. Okay, so for my cream blush pick this time, I chose the Tarte Breezy Cream Blush in the shade Berry Bliss. This is from their Sea Breezy line, and this is my absolute favorite cream blush formula. I love the way that this makes my skin look. It makes everything look a lot more hydrated after you've powdered. And I have another shade of this that I've used pretty much to death. I have a mini version of this same formula in the shade Peach Sunset that has an enormous pan and is practically an empty because I use it every single day. I just love it. It is one of the only cream blushes that lasts for hours and hours and hours on me. My skin is so dry, and sometimes if a cream blush is too emollient or dewy, it'll just kind of drink it up, and then I get a glimpse of myself in the mirror a couple hours later and I'm like, where did my blush go? So I love how long these last on my skin, and I recently, at the end of 2022, picked up a couple more shades just because I fell so in love with that formula last year, and this shade Berry Bliss totally caught my eye. I don't have any other berry blushes in my collection. Haven't really had a chance to play too much with this one yet, but I thought for like that cold girl kind of wintry flushed cheeks vibe that it might actually be a really nice time of year to pull this one out and use it. I think it could be sheared out in such a way that it just gives a wash of that kind of raspberry pink to the cheeks. So yeah, looking forward to putting this in my rotation and getting some use out of a product that I just recently added to my collection. Mixing up the old and the new, I am then gonna roll in quite an old product in my collection for my powder blush pick. This is the Bobbi Brown powder blush in the shade Slopes. I actually attempted to pan this last year, and I worked on it all year and no pan in sight. So toward the end of last year, I kind of gave up on that project and just started using all of my other blushes, because I felt like, yeah, there was just no way I was going to be able to hit pan in a year. But it's still probably my favorite powder blush in my collection. I don't even really know why. Like, if you just look at this blush, there's nothing that special about it, but I think the shade is extremely flattering and the formula is also extremely flattering. So how can I describe the shade? It's like a nude rose with a good amount of brown in it. But sheared out on the cheeks, on my skin tone at least, it just looks really natural. Even though Bobbi Brown says that their blushes are matte, I still think there is some kind of light reflecting property to them. Like even when I look in the pan, I feel like I can see, I don't know, a little bit of like mica or just something shining back at me that makes it really flattering over the skin. I think because it mimics skin texture. Skin texture is not completely matte and flat. It has some of that kind of sheen to it. And so this has been one of my favorite blushes for a really long time, and I used it religiously so much last year and then completely took a break from it. So weirdly, I'm kind of excited to get back to using it, at least just for the 5 times. I'm actually wearing it on my cheeks today so you can get an idea, but you can really build it up like I do and get a nice flush, or you can just throw it on quickly, no makeup, and it looks like you just have a really nice, pretty blush to your skin. So pretty much foolproof, goes with every eye look, and something I look forward to using 5 times. And I should have no issues using 5 times. This isn't one that I have to like make myself use. It's pretty natural for me to just gravitate toward this one and use it. Moving now to lip products. So for my neutral pick, I chose the Glossier, what are these called again?
Not Generation G. Oh my gosh.
Ultra Lip. I was like, what is it? Is it a lip slip? A lip slick? Like, what are these called? And it also says it on the side. Hello. Wow, okay. I need some more coffee or something. That was a good indication of where my brain has been over the past few days. The Glossier Ultra Lip in the shade Villa. Despite me not being able to remember what the heck this product was called, this is a product that I've used a ton of, and I've actually finished an entire one of another shade. I used the shade Lucite Up last year, which is kind of like a clear baby pink. These are really nice and easy to wear. They're very balmy and they just give you like a hint of a tint. So I'm actually wearing this on my lips today, paired with the next product that I'm going to show you for a really easy wearable rosy look. But it adds a nice gloss, soft gloss, not like a high shine gloss, but just a little bit of shine to the lips, and is very comfortable and hydrating to wear. I love this formula. I think it's a lot better, nicer, easier to wear and more comfortable to wear than Glossier's original lip product, which was the Generation G, which was more of like a soft matte kind of a lip product. These are definitely more like a tinted balm. And the shade Villa is just like a really neutral nude rose. Goes with both of the blushes I think that I've chosen, and will go with pretty much any eye look. Again, you can tell I'm trying to make things really kind of effortless and easy for myself when it comes to pairing products together, but this is definitely a shade that will go with any kind of eye look or makeup look that I'm doing, and also a good one to just throw in the bag because I feel like I can reapply it without a mirror like it's a chapstick, and it basically is a chapstick. It gives me hydration, but just a little bit of a wash of color and shine. For my bold lip product, I'm rolling in the Wet n Wild lipstick in the shade 914C Mochalicious. Can you tell that I am a Raw Beauty Kristi stan? But this is a matte, I would say pretty true matte. There's not a lot of shine going on with this one. It's a rosy brown. It's almost like a 90s lip color. But on me, it looks pretty dark just because I am so pale. So when I wear it, I feel like it's less of just like a neutral way of doing the 90s and more of like a bold statement. But it is a really pretty shade. I feel like depending on the eye look that I pair this with, it could go like very classic and classy French minimalist kind of a vibe, or it could be really grungy. And honestly, I do both of those kinds of looks. So yeah, I think it's just bold enough for me to feel like I'm being pushed out of my comfort zone, but still in the color family that's very neutral and, you know, the kinds of shades that I like to wear. I am wearing it today, actually, as I mentioned, paired with the Glossier Ultra Lip. I just kind of used Mochalicious around the edges, almost like, I don't know, a lip liner, but on my lips to create some depth and structure. Contour is the word I think I'm looking for. And then I put the Ultra Lip in the middle, and I really like the effect that that's given. It's just very, I don't know, rosy, but very wearable and still neutral for the daytime and just for my everyday life. I'm still trying to get comfortable with wearing bold lipsticks in my everyday life, but I also love a bold lip. So I am having a lot of fun wearing more bold colors, what I would consider bold anyway, which is really just deep neutrals. Yeah, looking forward to playing more with that one. And then finally, before we get to the wild card, is a non-palette eye product. And you are all gonna think that I am so boring. I chose a black eyeliner. I know. Could it be more basic? If you had told me 10 years ago that I would have to put a black eyeliner in a like structured project to get use out of it, I would have laughed at you. I used to wear eyeliner every single day. There is not a photo of me from high school without eyeliner on. And I actually, it sounds stupid, but I actually kind of had to work really hard to get out of the habit of always wearing eyeliner, because I basically had to remember what my face looked like without it. I always felt like I looked super weird without eyeliner. It's weird what happens with our perceptions when you wear the same makeup all the time and then you see yourself without it and you're like, I don't even recognize that person. After breaking the habit, I've kind of fallen off wearing eyeliner. I wear it very infrequently. I typically just do mascara and that's it. So now I have the opposite thing where it's like I don't even recognize who I am when I'm wearing eyeliner. I feel like I look like a completely different person, which is obviously dramatic because if anyone were to see the pictures of me side by side, I don't think there would be that much of a difference. This is the Marc Jacobs Highliner Gel Eye Crayon. It's in the shade Blacker, which is like lacquer, but with a B on the front. Marc Jacobs Beauty no longer exists, which really honestly is a shame because I feel like this eyeliner is really, really good quality, and I've heard other people say the same, that they loved the Marc Jacobs eyeliners. They are kind of, they go on with a gel consistency, so it's not like pulling and tugging at your eyes. Really easy to smudge out and kind of manipulate, but they do also set down and wear pretty well. I am wearing this on my eyes today. I did a little kind of like smudged out wing, and then I also put it in the waterline. And I don't know, sometimes I think it's fun to just play with eyeliner and do different looks and not feel like you have to wear it every single day to look like yourself. But I have eyeliners in my collection of all different colors and finishes, and I would like to get some more use out of them because I just don't even think about it anymore. I just never think to wear eyeliner most days. So I'd like to use this 5 times and just play around with some different looks. And I love the formula of this eyeliner, and it's a black, so it goes with everything. So I don't think it should be too difficult to get the uses on it. And now it is time for the wildcard product. So I'm using the Tiny Decisions app on my iPad. If I roll the same thing that I rolled last time, which was my Estee Lauder Cafe Rose lip liner, I will re-roll again just to keep things interesting and not have to use the same product twice in a row. But other than that, I am letting the app pick for me, and what the app says is what is rolling into the project. So here we go. Interesting. Okay, I rolled in a primer, which is the Rare Beauty Always an Optimist Illuminizing Primer. So let me actually go grab that out of my drawer and I'll be right back. So it's actually the Always an Optimist Illuminating Primer. I think I had Illuminizing in my spreadsheet that I imported into the Tiny Decisions app. But this is a really nice luminous primer. I've actually finished up a mini of this and went ahead and purchased the full size, I think in a BoxyCharm sale or a drop shop. Because I knew how much I loved using the mini. My only issue is if you're following my Rolling Project 10 pan that I already have an illuminating luminous primer in that project. I've been working on my Becca backlight priming filter, so I'm now kind of double dipping with illuminating primers, which is fine. I mean, I need to be using the products that are sitting in my collection anyway. There might just be a little bit of a trade-off with how much progress I get on my Becca one for the Project 10 pan, but honestly, 5 uses is probably not going to make that much of a difference. This actually works out kind of perfectly for YouTube recommendation purposes because Becca Cosmetics doesn't exist anymore, so you can't get the backlight priming filter anymore. So if you were looking for a recommendation for something similar that gives that like glow but not glittery kind of look to the skin to prep before a foundation, the Rare Beauty is actually a perfect alternative. And very much does what it says. It is illuminating and it does leave your skin looking luminous, but like I said, without like any visible glitter or shimmer, and I always find that my foundations blend well over the top of it. So that works out. I'm happy to use an illuminating primer of any shape or form, and even if that means I'm working on 2 at the same time, totally cool with that. So there you have it. Those are all of the products that I'm going to be working on using 5 times. And whenever I am able to get to the 5-use mark, I will report back and let you know how it went. Outside of the illuminating primer, here is the color story that I'm going to be working with this month for blush, cheeks, and obviously my eyeliner. I'm looking forward to using all of these in the coming weeks. And if you enjoyed this video, please do give it a like. It really helps out my channel. And if you feel like subscribing and seeing more videos from me, that would be great as well. Other than that, my next video should be up in the coming days, and I will look forward to seeing you then. Bye!